Come on in, baby. Oh wait, can I get more creamer? I gotta get creamer on my coffee so we can do some coffee talk with the Q&A. Much better.
What up?
Good morning. We got our coffee. And we are going to answer some of your guys' questions. I think the other video people were thinking that was the Q&A, but unfortunately we needed questions to do a Q&A, so we got some, and so here they go. So the question is, how many kids do you have? In our hearts, we have 7 kids. Biologically, I have 2 kids.
And biologically, I have 4 kids.
And because we love kids so much, we have 3 that we just consider our kids. And that's kind of what makes us such a blended family, is not only, I mean, I have aunts and uncles that aren't really my aunts and uncles, but don't tell me they're not my aunts and uncles. And I feel the same way about my kids, you know. Of course, those 3 little boys are not biologically mine, and their mother is in their life, and that's not a question, but those are my babies, and I love them just like I love my babies.
And the boys that we were speaking of are the Owen and Nathan. They're in our videos most of the time, and their little baby brother Roman. We like to bring them along as much as possible. We actually get them every weekend so that we can love on them and bless them and enjoy their company. And we definitely do enjoy their company. It might be kind of confusing. You don't see all 4 children at once. This is due to the fact that my firstborn is no longer with us. He is in heaven. His name is Christopher Elijah, and he was taken from us at 4 months old from SIDS.
Not us. His first marriage.
Yes.
Us.
And after that, I had my second child, Tatiana. She is theoretically my oldest right now, and she is, we do timeshare with her mother, and we see her on the weekends, and we totally enjoy being able to give her such a big family. It's definitely been a blessing.
And we have currently just switched timeshare, which is such a blessing in our household. We had her full time and Mom had her on the weekends, and she's growing older and she needs more time with her biological mom. Although we have a great bond, there's nothing like getting to know who you are from the person that made you. And so we've switched to her weekends with us, and which has been such a fun experience for us, which is different than what we normally are used to doing. So our next question is, are they all yours? I guess we just explained that. No, they are not all ours, talking logistically, but in our heart they are all ours. One of the other questions that we had that went with that was, who are the other boys in your videos? And he explained earlier that that's Nathan, Owen, and Roman. They are my cousins' little boys. The 2 older little boys' father passed away about 2 years ago, and we then just decided to step in and try to help, you know, give them a father figure that they aren't seeing anymore, and just help her. You know, it's hard doing it alone. I mean, he's in heaven, he cannot physically help her in any way, so we definitely try to just help her and help them through love and encouragement.
I apologize. Speaking of children, one of my other children is begging to be on the screen right now with us. So if you could just hold tight, she would like to say hi to. Hello, this is Jackie. Yep. We rescued her from a shelter. She was brought from Miami. She's a big ball of energy. Yeah. So Sorry.
She is a pit bull, and let me just tell you, she will lick you to death.
Oh yeah, she's very dangerous.
Very. All right, and so the next question is, how do you find the patience to handle all these kids and life? God. God gives me the patience to do everything I do in life, because I don't really think I'm that patient. I try to be. I try to be intentionally patient, and sometimes it works for me, other times it doesn't. But when I feel myself boiling, or I feel myself working myself up, I just take a moment and ask for God's patience.
I like to touch on that subject as well. I tend to find myself leaning into God in those moments, finding that peace that only Christ can give me, finding that joy that I know only God can give me. I can't find it in this world. Ultimately, that's why I'm turning to God, because whatever I was looking for in this world dished me out, something that I can't handle or something that overwhelms me. So in that sense, I turn to my Father.
Because He can handle it all.
Yes.
In a more worldly view, one of the things that we implement is just segregating ourselves. We try to do daily quiet time. In those quiet times, we are taking our own quiet time. Sometimes apart, sometimes you just need some Zen time. All right, we had a question about these tattoos. What are the tattoos on our hand? Well, they are our wedding rings. They are an American Indian symbol of the hummingbird, which represents friendship and harmony. We got these tattoos on our 5-year wedding anniversary. Quick funny story, the tattoo artist tried to talk us out of it.
Yes.
But Grant and I both feel like at the end of this marriage, if it doesn't work, the memory's still there. You cannot take away this part of our lives.
No.
Even if it were to change negatively, which we work very hard every day for it to stay strong.
Going back to the tattoo artist talking of us out of it, it just comes down to me, integrity. If I say I want it for the rest of my life, it's as permanent in my life as it is on my skin.
Yes.
And so for that, it's a declaration of it's forever for me, and I do intend to see this out. So as far as the significance of it, that's ultimately why we decided on the finger as a symbol and not on the arm or the shoulder or anything of that nature. I'd like for it to be bold and stand for exactly what it means.
One of the reasons that I like it is because it's very easy for in an argument for you to be vindictive and take that wedding ring off and shun your love for the other one. And I can't do that. It represents, I don't take this off. I can't and I won't. And it kind of gives me a peace about it. It's not a question of are we or when we would get divorced. No, we won't get divorced because it's eternity. To go along with that question, they asked, do we have any other tattoos? Of course we do. I'll let him go first for you.
Okay, mine are, I tried, once again, in our life, we should like to be intentional. So I intentionally got a tattoo from my son when he was first born. Not sure if you can see this, but it says acceptance, no time is ever promised, RIP, and Christopher, from the time he was born to the time he left this earth. It was only 4 short months, but it was an extremely amount of bonding time for me, and I don't think I've ever possessed something so precious in my life. He's definitely opened my eyes up to what this world really is and what things really mean and what true love really is, Christ's love. Going on to the next one, I have one on my arm here. It's to represent the Native American blood in my family. It says Native blood up top, and I have a totem pole for different characteristics that I believe that I carry. It'd be a orchid whale or a killer whale, and a falcon, and then a fox, which means the wisdom,
the free spirit, and the mischievous. Everybody gets in a little bit of trouble every once in a while. And so yeah, as far as getting more, I'd like to. I never really put much emphasis on it, when and where or what it would be. I do know all of them are intentional and represent something important in my life. Nothing's aimless. And so yeah, whatever the future holds, probably some more. Maybe not. That's okay with me.
All right, and I have 3 small tattoos compared to this guy. I have my zodiac symbol, which represents Cancer. I am a Cancer, and a lot of it applies to me. I am definitely that crab. I carry, I would say, about 90 to 95% of the characteristics of a Cancer. And so I put it on me to remind me that there's logic to the reason why I am the way that I am, you know. And the next one that I have is going to be a little hard to get in the picture, but it's a duck. And plain and simple, I'm Ducky. You say, how are you, Ducky? Go to a lake, try to play with a duck, see how it works out for you. It's kind of funny and awkward and weird, but joyful and pleasant. And that kind of puts me in a nutshell. And then my last tattoo is on my foot. It is a hibiscus. It represents the Florida flower. I have been in Florida since I was 6 months old. To me, I was born and raised here, even though I wasn't born here. And it just reminds me of the type of life we choose to live here in Florida every day, the peaceful, relaxing beach life. And smell the roses. I mean, they're fabulous when you take the time to look at the flowers and smell them. All right, and that is it for me. The next question, and looks like our last question, is, it was on a different video. It was on our garage makeover video, and they asked, have you done anything more cluttered than the garage makeover? And the answer is yes. I have been a professional organizer for about 5 or 6 years now, and with that, I do a lot of work with the elderly. And somewhere, somehow in the elderly's life, they decide that they are going to hold on to everything. And that occurs a lot of clutter. The clutter in the garage sale was a family of 7, so I could hardly call that clutter. I mean,
Yeah, it's very reasonable and understanding.
yeah, what I would consider cluttery is no rhyme or reason.
Right.
You have your toothbrushes in the kitchen cabinets, and you have your shampoo on the back porch. The things like that that absolutely don't make sense, that's clutter. So no, that is not the most clutterous thing I've ever done. I wish I would have got a video of the house that I did. We're still friends with that elderly lady. She went from a 3-bedroom house to an assistant living room, like a living room. So it definitely was a lot to go through, and a lot of it wasn't even, it had just been purchased and never used. And so those are my funnest. The more clutter, the better. It's like a puzzle to me, and I love puzzles.
I am naturally not a organizer, so I tend to stay away from that type of subject. I tend to keep myself tidy and for the most part keep my stuff organized, but as far as seeing the need is on a bigger spectrum, no, I definitely don't tackle projects like that. I am more of not an A-type personality, so if I were to do things out of my own free will, they would most likely be more of caregiving things. I like giving gifts and making art, music, things of that nature, bringing joy and fun instead of the organizing and direction and structure. I am the anti-structure. So I'm not the one you
We're
call
a
for
good
organizing.
balance.
Right.
I'm too organized, he's not too organized, and we meet in the middle.
Right.
I just want to implement some questions that weren't asked that might help you better get to know us. We're the Greisigers. I'll say that again, Greisigers.
That's Greisigger.
No N. People like to add that N in there, and we do not have an N. My maiden name was a lot more simple, but we'll move past that. One of the other things is I wanted to tell you the age of our children. Well, let's start with Christopher. He just turned 13 in January. Tatiana turned 12 in
January.
June. I was gonna say February, but that's my goddaughter. In January. June turns 9 this June. Mr. Grant, our little one, his mini me, turns 6 on April 30th this month, like in less than 15 days. And Nathan is 7, Owen is 4, and baby Roman is about 6 to 7 months. We have a wide variety of ages. Somehow we started out with more girls, but now we have more boys.
Yes.
We are willing to be an open book. Ask us anything you want. We'll share our story. We're a blended family. We try to make the best of that we can. If you have questions about that, please leave them down below. We were thinking about doing a video with
The biological mothers of the children we are speaking of.
So he's so proper. Who said he wasn't an A-type personality?
Well, we hope that you enjoyed our Q&A and a bit of our history. We thank you for sticking around, and we appreciate your support. If you could just give us a big thumbs up and like our video, and like we said before, leave any comments that you like, more questions. We are more than willing to do another one of these and get to know us, to get to know you guys. We love every bit of your support, and we hope to see you next time.
Bye-bye for now.